What's up, guys? Mike Thomas, aka the Young Trishula here. Today I wanted to talk about a card that has seen very little impact in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. Now, when this card was first released, everybody thought this card was crazy, and, you know, we all expected that it'd be an instant 3 of staple in our decks and in the OCG, and even to some extent on Master Duel. That kind of is the case with this card, but we have not seen it do anything here in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG until this past weekend. And I am, of course, talking about Nobleman of Crossout. Crossout Designator. So in this video, I just wanted to talk about Crossout Designator. If you did not see the YCS champion Paulie Aronson's deck list, Paulie did main 3 copies of Crossout Designator in his based strategy. Now, I think that this was really smart. This was something that I was talking to some of my friends and teammates about before the YCS. A lot of us were thinking along the lines of Crossout Designator being a really good card for 2 reasons. So the first of all being a very hand trap heavy format, Crossout Designator allowing you to beat hand traps just using it to declare the name of a hand trap, banish that card, and negate it, similar to how Called by the Grave is used, but it can be used against any hand trap. Also, there's one other thing that makes the Crossout Designator really strong right now, and I think that this is the core difference that makes this card go from being a card that was more or less just not worth playing most of the time to a card that's actually a meta threat, and that is the introduction of the Brave cards, or the adventure package in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. So what's really kind of changed the tide is that in a competitive landscape, this format is a lot more homogenized than in previous formats that we've had Crossout Designator legal for. And the reason for that is because of these Brave cards. A lot of decks are just putting Brave in them, even if they don't need the Brave stuff to play. A lot of decks are just playing Brave variants because of the power of the Brave cards. This also goes for the case of cards like Red Rose Dragon and that package. There's just a lot of packages being played across many different decks. Even something as generic as Despot 001, which is played even in decks that don't play the Brave package, such as Infernoble, for example. All kinds of decks are just playing a lot of the same cards at the moment, and because of that, a deck that is also playing those cards can take advantage of cards like Crossout Designator in order to not only protect itself, but use the card offensively to turn off the opponent's engine. And I think that makes this card really, really strong. Definitely a card worth considering playing in this current metagame. And I think it worked really well, specifically in Paulie's deck, because if we just take a look at Paulie's deck, you can see that a lot of the cards in Paulie's deck are shared among a lot of meta decks. So for example, you have the Red Rose package, you have Snow, you have Fusion Destiny, you have the Brave cards, you have Emergency Teleport, Small World, not to mention all of these hand traps, going so far as to play one-ofs of a lot of, you know, common hand traps just to flesh out ratios. So instead of playing 3 copies of Effect Veiler, playing 2 Effect Veiler, 1 Infinite Impermanence, because on the off chance that you get impermed, you have the Crossout for it. So I think this is just a really strong application of the card. Obviously, it worked out for Paulie. Huge congrats to Paulie. This was a very overdue win for Paulie, so congrats to him. And, you know, I think that this is a card that we might start to see more of in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. Definitely something worth considering, but I don't know. I just wanted to talk about Crossout for a bit because I think it's interesting that this is the format that it has popped up and finally shown itself to be a meta viable card. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Drop this video a like if you enjoy this kind of content, and consider subscribing. The channel is growing so much lately, and I want you to be a part of that. I want you to join us on our journey. So, but that's all I have for you guys today. So hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next video.